Welcome everyone to 2021 and the first podcast episode of the year. A couple of housekeeping things that I kind of want to address before I dive into the episode today, because we've got a lot to talk about. First things first, I'm trying a new setup. You probably don't really notice anything different. I'm just fucking around with my lights and doing some real tech support hour shit. So yeah. Does it look good? Do I look good? You probably look good, probably better than I am. All right, moving right along. So, Happy New Year, first and foremost, and Christmas, and whatever other holiday you celebrate. I want to give back to you lot, all you people that listen to this podcast. If you share it around to your friends, if you don't, doesn't matter. This is something that's going to kind of come out soon, eventually, pretty soon, but I'm giving away some free shit, which would be cool, you know, something that I just thought of over the break, and I thought, hey, I want to do something just to thank the first lot of people who have come through and really supported this podcast and everything that I'm doing, so more details on that soon, and yeah, so this episode is going to be fucking chaos because I planned on having a little bit more of a break, just a little bit more of a break, just so I could kind of, you know, slowly get back into the year and figure out this, and like I just wanted a whole day just to this fucking podcast setup. Not the case whatsoever. A lot of things kind of happened. So in saying that, to kind of bring, kind of to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically I bring you to speed of everything that's going to happen. I'm going to speed run this shit. So kind of give me like 15 minutes about that. If you don't give a shit about what I did over Christmas and New Year's, that's fine. You can skip forward about 15 minutes and I might get more into the juicy shit. But basically I started scripting out this episode and all hell broke loose, apparently. So let's try to catch up as fucking quickly as he can. So obviously we had Christmas and New Year's. I celebrate Christmas with my family for the first time in 5-6 years. Again, pretty sure I said this in the last episode. It's not that I don't love my family, I do love them very much, but when you have Christmas, when you're married, you've got multiple Christmases, you've got more family shit, you'll figure it out once you get older. Also, sorry, before I continue, one more thing I'm going to address. I got my whole arm tattooed the other day. Shout out to Nick and Jay Van Vidler on the gram. If you're wondering, yes, it hurt, and I'm not here to be like, oh, look at my tattoo tour. I'm actually pulling a Shia LaBeouf, and I'm actually going to be in a movie, and that's why I'm getting my whole arm tattooed, so you can see it for like 12 seconds, and that'll be it. So it's definitely going to be worth the money, and my agent think it's going to be great. Anyways, coming back along to Christmas. Sorry, that was a fucking dumb joke bit I had in my head just earlier, and I was like, ooh, that'd be funny. Haha, great, cool. So, for those who don't know, I'm from a very small town on the south coast of New South Wales, and I go up once a year to see my family, and it is hard to get up there because it's such a long drive and blah, 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 blah. So, because obviously in Melbourne we had to deal with the second lockdown and just shit was just fucked here to say the least, I remember on a TikTok I said that I'd kill to have like that type of pain of sitting somewhere for a long time for a trip, and I fucking finally did it. Did 10 hours in the car, went by so quick. So yeah, that was fucking great, and made me miss traveling a lot in general. And Kayla and I were talking, and now we're like, oh, we can now travel more if we want to, or do more road trips, because it was exciting. So I get to my small ass town. To give you context, growing up there was like 10,000 people, something like that. So very, very, very small, and that's definitely not the case now. So, and by the way, like this episode is frazzled because I just had to write down a whole bunch of fucking notes, just like quick one-liners, while also going through my script. And there's parts where I'm like, nah, I'm gonna leave those details out. So, cool, behind the scenes of the podcast, and yeah, fuck, this is off to a terrible start. I'm sorry, I'm like, scratchy as fuck or whatever. So my hometown is really popular for Sydney and Canberra because it's like in the middle on the coast. If you go 3 hours south of Sydney, or if you go a couple of hours from Canberra onto the coast, bam, that's where I'm from. And because COVID, everyone's been working from home, but a lot of people have decided, hey, city life ain't for us. So they packed up their shit, packed up their cars and their kids, and they've moved to my beautiful little town because they're like, oh, the beaches here are so lovely and nice and stuff. And they I don't know what's that called, like shiny ball syndrome or something like that. No, I do not have shiny balls, if you're wondering. They're just like attracted to the lifestyle. They see a small town with a beach and shit, reminds them of Byron Bay and what motherfuckers are putting up on Instagram, but it's not the case. So they're attracted to it and they don't want to live that city life, so they've moved there. And holy shit, I got warned ahead of time from my family that the town was like busy with tourists and people that now live there have moved from the city. But man, that was a fucking understatement. But I honestly reckon it's not going to last because people are going to soon realize, especially come winter time, living in a small town ain't it, because you're bored as shit, it's cold, it's miserable, and there's nothing else to do but to go to the beach. Literally nothing else to do but go to the beach. So I feel like I'm going to say by September, October, heaps of them are going to move back to the city. Guarantee you that. Or here's another theory that I was kind of talking about with Caitlin. I think she suggested that they're just going to get back to work and work in the office, and they're like, oh fuck, now we've got to go back. So now they're gonna sell up and move back. It's honestly crazy up there. So people are living out of their cars that have fucking jobs and everything. They're homeless because they can't get any rentals. There's not enough rentals going around. Like, it's just bonkers. And to kind of give you like more context, so my town is like multiple towns that are kind of in the same vicinity. Like, you drive 2 minutes down the road and you're in the next like zone, town, county. I don't know. Whatever. But now it used to be separated. It used to be separated by like nature parks and all that type of shit. Only little ones, but now they're all fucking getting bulldozed down and they're putting in housing estates to join them all together. So now it's just one huge town, like officially, I guess. So yeah, that was a wild time kind of being up there, but it was great. It was great being up there for Christmas and, hanging out at the beach, catching up with a few friends. Like I don't really stay in touch with like a lot of people that I grew up with because, well, if you're from a small town, you probably get it. But the people that do kind of chat with, still, it's really cool. But yeah, it's wild how bustling the town is now. Like, we go up there to relax, and I always resonate my hometown with relaxing because, it's small moving, not a lot happening. Everyone's just going about their pace. Everyone's like, oh, wake up one day, weather's nice, go to the beach, and then figure it out from there. And I like that lifestyle to have a break. This time around, it was completely different. Everyone was in a hurry. Literally everyone. I couldn't even differentiate who were locals and who weren't. Everyone was just in a hurry. But I was like, where the fuck are you all going? This town is so small and you can drive from one side of the town to the other in like 20 minutes. I'm like, what? Why? What are you rushing for? There's literally nothing to rush for. It blew my mind. So it's, the gentrification is real. if that's a word. And yeah, Byron Bay 2.0 is coming in hot. So, but yeah, being there was good, and I bumped into a couple. It was weird because I'm kind of at the point now because I've been out of high school for 11 years now, some shit like that. I've seen a few people. I saw a few people I went to school with, and we kind of looked at each other and gave each other eyes, like we know went to school with each other, but we're not going to say anything, and we moved on. It was great. I didn't have to deal with like those kind of awkward interactions. There's one interaction I had, which was it was okay, and I'm trying to, because it's small town shit. The guy is kind of like a COVID denier, like a Trump lover, and it was just like, really didn't want to get stuck talking to this guy, but kind of had to I knew where the conversation was trying to lead, and I was being the bigger guy. I just shut it down. I just moved on. It was great. Avoiding conflict of all types. That's what I'm going to try to do this year. I'm definitely going to be choosing violence a lot this year. Because, as you can tell, it's already off to a fucking wild start. Oh my god, I'm not actually farting. If you're hearing that sound, that's my desk. And if I was farting, then you know what my farts sound like. And that's on farts. So, anyways, it's interesting just seeing like the dynamics of small town. I'm sure everyone like from Byron and shit dealt with the same kind of thing with like heaps of people from the city moving there and just like having the attraction of it. And it was funny because I was talking to someone. That's right. I was at the bar like a few weeks ago with a mate of mine, and in some capacity my hometown got brought up, and one of the towns like further over, probably like half an hour or something like that away, it's got one of the best beaches in Australia, like ranked one of the best beaches in Australia. I grew up there and I don't even know the fucking details because I don't care that much. But basically, the beach was shut down one day about 6 years ago or something like that, because Kim and Kimye were doing a photo shoot on the beach. And ever since then, it's really blown up and it's become like a huge popular spot in all of Australia. But the town is like, when I say small, I mean like small as I don't even think there's a school there. I think it's just people's houses and like a little local IGA, and that's it. So I was talking to someone about it at the bar, and they were like, yeah, I went there. And it was just weird because like the beach was really nice, but the area, I was like, yeah, the area is like a shithole. Like, and that's probably why the beach is so nice, because no one wants to go there. Beach is just like untouched. But yeah, it was regardless, it was cool being with family and all of that, and just taking some time. We just hung out at the beach. Obviously, like the whole COVID was kind of kicking off on the northern beaches, but we were far away from that. It was kind of like, it was funny though, because we'd go out to places and they're like, oh, where have you been? Like, have you been to northern beaches? And we're like, oh, no, we're from Melbourne. And they're like, oh, sweet, yeah, you guys are good, you know, don't worry, come on, you're from Melbourne? Fuck, you know, you just take the keys and own the business instead. So, yeah, it was funny, but it was scary at some points though, because like there were like pretty much everywhere where we went, they knew we weren't from there, and they knew that we were from the city, and they thought we were from Sydney or some shit, and we just got like shitty looks all the time. Everywhere we went, everyone was just fucking miserable, and I'm like, oh. It was like, I made a TikTok about it as well. I was just like, fuck, like little towns always, and this is exactly what it was like growing up. They're always like during the winter, they're like, fuck, we need tourists here. No one's coming here during winter because it's cold and miserable. And we need tourists to come here to boost our economy and keep the wheels turning. Summer comes around and tourists are packed and it takes fucking forever to do anything. And they're just like, fucking tourists, oh, wish they would fuck off. It's like, which one is it? Pick a lane. You can't have both, Karen, okay? Like, fuck. So, speaking of though, we went and ordered pizza one night. We waited an hour and a half for pizza. Hour and a half. And when she said it to me, because she told me it was going to be an hour and a half wait, and I had to repeat it in shock because I don't think I've ever waited an hour and a half for food. I think one time I waited an hour and a half for food, and that's because there was like huge fuck ups with the kitchen and they gave us the wrong food and we had to wait for extra food and there was probably a delivery driver and it was like a whole thing. This one's just straight up, they're like, no, it's going to be late because a lot of motherfuckers ordering pizza. And yeah, but like, it's like, I was talking to my stepsister about this. I was like, what do you expect though? Like, you know, the town just hire like 15-year-old kids to make pizzas and they're just like slow as shit. Like, of course it's going to take fucking forever. Anyways. Big things that came out while I was at home. I hit 200 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm not a numbers dude or anything like that. But it's since grown, it's like 212 or some shit now. But it's cool. I was like, all right, sweet. People are obviously giving a shit. So I've got some other video ideas coming in the coming weeks and shit like that as well. That hopefully people will still subscribe to. And yeah, we'll see about that. So, I don't know, like, yeah, I hate to be like that person that tries to define everything on numbers, but it's just like a cool pat on the back, I guess. The internet's being like, hey, people care, and they want to be a part of this, so keep the subscribers going. So, yeah, it's been fucking cool seeing all of that. And yeah, so we got back in time, so we didn't have to quarantine. Which was fucking fantastic because we didn't have to do that. God, I can't be asked explain the situation with New South Wales and Victoria and the COVID cases. I just look it up yourselves. I'm exhausted from fucking talking about it, really. But yeah, so like my brother, for example, he got back a few days later and he has to do 14 days at home. But yeah, we avoided that, and I don't know, that's all I have to say on that. I will say though, there was like, fuck man, yeah, I don't know. It's hard at the borders because people come through, and we just went up, and the cops were just like, "Have you been to Sydney?" And we're like, "No," and they're like, "Okay, go through." And I'm like, "Fuck man, anyone can lie about this shit." But I don't know. You try to see the best in the people. I guess. Anyways, moving on. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm a bit frazzled and a bit all over the place for this episode. Like, a lot is kind of going on, which I'll explain in a few minutes. God, I just sound depressed. I sound like someone just fucking died or like Caitlin left me or something. Nothing like that. I'm just wrecked. I'll go into it in a minute. So, anyways, all right. I'm skipping over that. Delete that. You hear that? That was me hitting the key of delete. So, just over 15 minutes, we're getting into the juicy shit that has happened. Okay, all right, let's get into it. All right, the first thing I want to talk about, because this is peak internet culture that I fucking love. So Kim and Kanye splitting. And pause before you think I'm gonna go into it. Mind you, did binge a fair bit of Keeping Up with Kardashians, which I've never watched before during lockdown. It's pretty entertaining. I can understand why people fuck with it. Now that I'm out of lockdown, I haven't watched it, but I can understand why people fucking love it. So they split, and that's all fine. Well, not fine, but whatever. They're gonna have to do what they're gonna have to do. But I love that the internet, within hours, not even, came up with this crazy conspiracy theory that Jeffree and Kanye were hooking up, and that's the reason why they're splitting. That shit blew my fucking mind. It made me love the internet even more. Like, what a wild conspiracy theory. Now people are trying to like put together all the pieces as much as they can. You know, apparently Jeffree said in one part, like, what was it, during a song or something like that, that he sucked Kanye, or Kanye sucked him or some shit. And now there's like other details coming out about like them having ranches next to each other and how they know each other, and like and oh my god, it's wild how the internet, probably mainly around celebrity culture, really, people just really try to like piece together those put together those pieces to build their own story. which is crazy because just saying that as well. We're currently watching a documentary about things like that when people die. And I'm going to speak about it next week, like more in detail once we finish the series tonight. But it's called Surviving Death on Netflix. And yeah, these people saying, oh, these weird things happened after this person died, but I thought it was me just putting together the pieces because I'm searching for answers. Similar kind of thinking, but with crazy conspiracy theories about celebrities hooking up with each other. Speaking of conspiracy theories, we know what the fuck is happening. The storming of the Capitol. That, when I woke up and saw that it blew my mind, but it didn't surprise me. Okay, I was shocked that it was actually happening, but I kind of wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, well, obviously this was going to kind of happen at some point. So it's funny now, like there's so many good videos out there breaking down this whole thing in terms of like people just clowning on the fucking losers that were doing that, because that's all they are. They're just losers. They just never given a shit about politics until now, and they're like, oh, I like Trump because he's a straight shooter. He says it as it is, and it's like, fuck, man, like, you clearly you don't have two brain cells to fucking rub together. And yeah, I'm not even fucking hiding it anymore. This year is the year where I just stopped giving a fuck. It's like, if you supported that, you're a fucking dumbass. And that's it. That's all I've got to say on that. But no, it has been funny seeing those people getting arrested now. And I thought about this morning. I was like, these are the same fucking people that I grew up with. This is a fucking full circle podcast. So where I grew up, there was a lot of troublemakers. Just kids that are bored and just want to fucking stir some shit and get in trouble. They're the same people that I grew up with that would cause shit, and then once they got arrested, they'd start crying. And they'd just be like, oh, I didn't want to get arrested, and I'll get dad on the phone and get me out. Oh, I promise I won't do anything bad again. And that is the adult version of it. That's what's happening at the Capitol. Shit is honestly just like blowing my fucking mind about how crazy it is. Like these people that are getting arrested. There was like this trend which was then and now, and it's like then like at the fucking Capitol stealing some shit, and now it's like a mugshot of them. It's like, man, see, this is the thing that quantifies and completely shows that these people are fucking morons. Okay, I'm not getting myself in trouble. Okay, but maybe hypothetically speaking, I've done some not so legal things in my life. Have I ever snitched on myself? No, because I'm smart. No, I just have like that little inkling of like, fuck, if I get caught, I got to do this so that doesn't happen. These people are live streaming it, showing their faces. One dude had his fucking work badge around his, like, on his lanyard, like, displayed. So he got fired, and arrested as well. And I was just like, fuck, there are so many that all these people are now getting picked up because, like, instantly. Well, I think even if they tried to hide their identity, they still would be found pretty easily by, like, the FBI and CIA and shit like that, because that's, government level crimes, I guess. And these people are displaying their names. They're saying their names. One dude was chanting his own name. And by the way, if you're a person that speaks in like the third person, you deserve jail time regardless of the situation, because that's just weird. Have you not seen American Pie with old mate? What's his name? The Terminator dude. Shermanator. He's a fucking loser. 2 seconds. I gotta close my door because Caitlin's in a meeting. Welcome back to working from home. Actually, holy shit, my thing's long enough. Sorry if you're on the video version. I'm gonna swipe out a frame. Oh yeah, I got it. All right, I'm not even gonna cut that bit out because that was pretty fun. So yeah, these people are just straight up doxing themselves and dobbing themselves in, essentially, and that's it. Like, it's a wrap for them. They're facing fucking government-level charges. Like, oh, God. And yeah, same thing. They're just the type of people who are like, yeah, we're strong, we're cool, like, fuck the government, fuck the rules, and we're, like, especially that, like, that political statement of we're trying to overthrow the government and then crying when you get arrested. I saw a video today of a dude crying because he's on a no-fly list. It's just like, oh, all of a sudden you realize that your fucking actions have consequences. Oh, God, it's just like, that's the thing that pisses me off, right? I'm just gonna go on a, like, 10-second rant here. It's the thing that pisses me off about especially people now, and in rap, especially rap culture now. This is why I don't fuck with any rap these days. All these people act hard. They act tough. They act like gangsters. And then the second they're arrested or in trouble, facing time, whatever, they just start crying. And, like, you know, they might even fucking write, like, an apology on, like, their fucking phone notes and put it on Twitter. Just, like, fucking annoys me, man. And, like, you kind of one and the other. You're either hard and you fucking own it and you don't back down, or you just don't be that person. You just don't act like that. That's, like, my view on that shit anyways. And, like, that's what I was talking to Nick about when I was getting tattooed. Him and I were talking about rap these days and how we both felt like, well, I was like, I can't listen to rap these days because it's just shit. And I don't want to be like one of those kids these days, but really, if you grew up listening to rap in, like, the 90s and early 2000s, you'd know how different it is now. And he's like, yeah, these kids don't have struggles. They're just kids from the suburbs. And I'm like, fuck, that's so true. So, yeah. And yeah, concert. Oh, pause. Sorry. It's like 38 degrees today, and I'm suffering because I had to turn off the AC for the audio. This is what I do for you, and this is why I'm giving back to you with something. It's a gift. I'm Santa, so I'm going to be giving you guys a gift. It's free. More details coming soon once I get my shit together. Anyways, moving on. So consequently, whatever. Trump got banned from social media, which was also a fucking hilarious thing to watch these people spiral about. They're like, oh, he's silencing freedom of speech. It's like, bro, it's like they're privately owned companies that can literally do whatever the fuck they want. Okay, if they want to ban the president because he's saying shit that's inciting violence, then so be it. So I was just thinking, I was like, fuck, maybe this, like, podcast will be getting some flack if people actually no one fucking listened to it even when Trump lost, but well, yeah, whatever. I don't care if any fucking dumbass Trumpers come after me or anything like that. It's happened before in the past, and I don't really give a fuck. It's like, what are you gonna do about it, bozo? Speaking of bozos, man, there was a fucking Trump rally in, like, a Trump protest rally thing in Melbourne. Like, what the man, pack it in. I was talking to my homie Matt about this last night. Pack it the fuck in. We need a hard reset on internet and social media. Scrap that shit. Delete it. Start again. There needs to be, like, a system in place where you need to be approved to be on social media. See if you're fucking sane enough and you don't believe any of this crazy shit that's being spilled out. Yeah, there needs to be, like, a whole system in, like, a screening system in place before you can be on social media. That's what I fucking think needs to be done, because I'm exhausted, man. I don't have time for this shit anymore. So yeah, but yeah, it's like fucking, 10 days until he's out, and now they might still impeach him and shit. It's like, man, I can't keep up. Again, I don't want to dive too much into it because I'm not that qualified, and I'll be first honest, I'm a bit of a fucking dummy when it comes to politics and shit, but I know what I know, but I still try to keep an open mind somewhat, so I can kind of take in both sides. But either way, Trump's a fucking dumbass. If you storm the Capitol, you support that shit, you're also a fucking dumbass, because those people are fucking dummies. They're also the people that are like, yeah, blue lives matter, but they fucking killed a cop, so I don't know about that. Anyways, this is a weird first episode back. I'm sorry. I hope you guys had a good break, and a great start to 2021. So, tying off from that, QAnon, okay? Now, look, I get it. QAnon has been going nuts. I don't so during the second lockdown, QAnon in Melbourne was going crazy because they thought we had curfew so they could rescue the kids that were being trafficked out of the tunnels. Apparently when we're doing, if you don't know, in Melbourne, they're doing huge infrastructure changes and they're building this big fuck off tunnel for the western suburbs, which will help flow of traffic. I don't know. I'm not here to teach you fucking infrastructure. Look it up yourselves. But basically, the massive construction on this huge tunnel, and apparently they're trafficking kids through the tunnel and they're rescuing them, and that's why they're like, oh, we gotta have curfew because at night, that's when they're bringing out the kids and everyone's at home, so no one sees the kids. And people were like driving past the construction sites and filming them, and they're like, oh, see, there's police and there's ambulance tending to the kids. It's like, no, they're probably there so people don't fucking trespass onto the construction site. Like, you know, I'm sure for everyday construction sites there's no cops or ambos, but this is like you know, this isn't like a regular house. It's a fucking government thing. There's a big deal as well. They probably had to ramp up security because of you fucking morons. So that was one of the conspiracy theories that came out, and like since then it's been a domino effect. And I ain't saying names because I'm trying to see the good in people, and I'm trying to hope that people change their ways. But this motherfucker I went to school with is fucking deep into QAnon. Deep. And I don't know if I discussed this on another podcast episode, but during second lockdown, he sent me this whole fucking bullshit thing from Pete Evans and this other crazy conspiracy theorist doctor who believed that he invented emails. And man, I didn't have time for that shit. So I just kind of said to him, like, look, dude, I don't want to fucking hear it, and moved on. I thought that was the end of it, but again, so we have each other on Instagram, don't have each other on Facebook. So my friend that one of my really good mates I went to school with, I told him this when I saw him at Christmas. And then he texted me last night. He's like, dude, he is deep into QAnon, and sends me a screenshot of his Facebook status. And man, my guy is like, there is like a moment where you're kind of like tiptoeing on the edge of reality. And this dude is off the cliff. He base jumped. He did a backflip off the fucking cliff into QAnon. Like, I shouldn't laugh, but my God, my dude was, the shit that he was saying in it. He was saying that there was like a big awakening happening soon, and you know, Trump being silenced is like part of the bigger picture, and also some COVID denying shit, which is like so fucked up, man. Like, I know 2 people that got COVID. I recently learned. People that I've met in the touring world who are in America, they're good now. But I feel for them because we don't know the long-lasting effects of it yet. But they both survived. But they both said it was fucking shit. So it's crazy to think that, like, we are nearly a year into a global fucking pandemic. I don't think people really still understand the weight of what's happening. This is a very unique 1 in 100 year event. And this could have been like, okay, I'm not a fucking doctor, but I listened to them. You know, I wore a mask. I stayed at home during lockdown. I did the work. I put in the fucking work. I didn't get sick, and we're good now because I, along with millions of other people in Australia, fucking did the work. But it blows and it took us a long time, but it's crazy to think that people don't see this as serious as it is. And they're just like, oh, I'll go about my day. In LA, there's a 1 in 5 chance of getting COVID. 1 in 5. You go outside, you get it. It's a wrap. You know, I made this joke that you have a better chance of getting COVID than you are to meet a fucking TikTok celebrity at Saddle Ranch. That's how easy you can get COVID in LA now. Because you know those motherfuckers love Saddle Ranch. But it's crazy that, like, people don't understand how serious the situation still is. And it's almost been a fucking year. I honestly thought everyone was like, oh my God, there's like the Spanish flu that happened, 100 years ago. Shit, better stay inside, mask up, wash my hands, and wait it out until a vaccine is ready and take the safe steps to ensure that everyone gets through this alive. Nope. Not the case whatsoever. Well, I honestly thought that's how it went because every government in around the world is run by fucking dinosaurs who were probably alive during the Spanish flu, and they probably knew and experienced it, and they thought, maybe we'll learn for next time. No, they didn't. So, yeah, I feel for like the people that have gotten it and all that type of shit. But man, like for America, it's like I was saying, they just got to wait out for the vaccine. But even then, it's like, what happens once the vaccine's available? They still have millions of people in their country that have it. If you're wondering where my stance is on the vaccine, I'm going to be kicking over grandmas to be at the fucking front of the line. That's how serious I am. Because this is the other thing, right? I'm sorry this hasn't been a really funny podcast, but I hate those motherfuckers that say stuff like, we don't know what's in the vaccine, and I understand there's risks. I understand there's risks involved. But you got to understand that I've been smashing cheeseburgers from McDonald's my whole fucking life, and you know there's someone that, like, has a cheeseburger from the 90s still, and is still completely intact? I don't know what's in those burgers, but I still fucking eat them, because they taste good. And it's like that with most things. I don't know what's in most things, but I don't question it because I hear it from someone. They're like, hey, try this bit of food. It's good. Or a stranger in the bathroom that's like, hey, snort this stuff. It's really good. I don't know what's in it, but I'm like, fuck it. Let's just do it. All right? So I'm not worried what's in the vaccine because I've probably ingested way worse things in my life. So, for the record, that last bit was a joke. I do not take substances from strangers in bathrooms. Okay? As a joke. If you're anyone of legal matter, it's a joke. All right. So, now we got that out of the way. Are you going to take the fucking vaccine? Because that's my mindset towards the whole thing. So, anyways, I didn't want this to be a crazy fucking political thing, but hey, it turned out to be anyway. So, going into the last point of this podcast, and again, this podcast went fucking quick, man. I've been talking for nearly 40 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up real soon for all y'all. The reason why I've been really frazzled is because I'm back into work. I got back into work earlier than I should have, and this year is going to be very chaotic for me work-wise. I have a lot of shit happening, a lot of good things happening. No, not big things happening. I just have a lot of work going on. I've got a lot of clients to deal with, and it got brought forward, and I was still in holiday mode. And okay, this is the biggest like fucking first world problem that you'll ever hear. But hey, I'm a person too, and I need to fucking vent for a second. So I got dumped a commercial on me, really like high-end commercial, last-minute edit on me, and that was fine. Like I'm not going to go into like the details of it, but basically it was only supposed to be a few hours of work. It ended up being 2.5 days of crazy hours of work, and then it still wasn't done. I had to palm it off to another editor. And yeah, so that cut my holiday short by a few days, which is all right. It is what it is. Like I got to do what I got to do to make that bread and fucking provide for myself and my wife and my cat. So yeah, but that's why I'm frazzled because, man, I'm trying to do more creative shit this year, and I really want to do it, but I don't know. Like at this point, like I don't see how it's going to fit into my schedule. I really want to do it. That's something else I wanted to talk about. While I was home, which is kind of like a lighter thing to talk about. So I'm currently working on something. I'm currently writing my first feature, and I don't know if it'll ever be anything. You got to understand, right? If you're listening to this and you're an aspiring filmmaker or fucking whatever, you got to understand this. People do shit that never comes to fruition. Okay. I think I've spoken about before. I've made YouTube videos. I've just never posted because I thought they were good, and then I finished it and I was like, nah, no one's gonna watch that, and I deleted it. Same applies here. Okay, this is my first feature that I'm writing, but I don't know what's gonna come of it. I don't know if I'll end up shooting it. This could be my 10,000 hour project. This could be the thing that I do like later in life. It could not. It could be coming up quick. And that's not even like a depressing way. That's just like something that's like, I had this idea. I really want to pursue it. Don't know when though, but it's here. So to give you more context of it, I'm not going to give away anything, but it's based on, it's based in my hometown. Okay. It's my way of saying thank you to my life, my childhood growing up. So, oh my god, I made that sound like it was a fucking like what is like a romance type fucking movie, or something like a big coming of age kind of film. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into fucking details of it. So I was uninspired. I thought being there, I took my laptop because I was gonna write while I was there, and I thought I'd be inspired by encounters and things that I would have witnessed, and just being there in general, just the vibe, really, just the vibe, bro. But I didn't. Things have changed so much there, and we're getting kind of real here, so you can switch off if you want. But yeah, things have changed, and it's kind of, I lost that connection for a bit, and man, this is like some weird fucking creative. It's like some weird creative shit here that I feel like I'm like a really obnoxious art dealer, but it ain't the case. All right. If you grew up in a small town, you'd get the vibe as well. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel inspired to do anything. Nothing really jumped out at me. There was something that kind of hit me, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't even know why I fucking brought it up then if I'm going to talk about it, but something kind of got me off guard. But that kind of made me think about some things. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was just weird. Just being there, like nothing really. Normally when I'm there, I'm like, going past this spot, I remember when this thing happened here and all this type of shit. Yeah, it didn't happen. It was kind of weird this time. I think it's because of COVID as well. Last time we were up, it was the fucking bushfire, so struck out 2 times in a row. Hopefully next Christmas it'll be good. That'll be tight. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, man, it wasn't even my original point about that. It's just, there's just shit that I want to do, but it's just like when, and especially with my work, and like obviously I've got to try and do my creative shit, otherwise I'll go crazy. And don't think that I'm not gonna be posting shit on YouTube or anything like that. I got some shit in the works that I'm very excited to put out there. But yeah, it's just trying to find time for it. And honestly, I don't know where the fuck this is going. It's kind of ending on a dud, to be honest with you. But this year, I am trying to schedule my life where I still have like a crazy amount of work on, and that does take priority, but I do have this shit I want to attend to. So give me a couple of weeks so I can figure out a schedule. I'm going to talk to some people. I'm going to try and figure out a good schedule just for my life in general as well, because I gotta have some fucking time off. which I'm like already losing. Well, like a week into the first year, I'm already losing free time, which is fucking bananas. Regardless, though, I'm really excited to see what comes out of this year. And yeah, I think, you know what, I'm just going to fucking call it. I'm sorry if you've been listening to this and you expected something better to come out of the first podcast of the year. We had some laughs. I'm also sweating my fucking balls off, and I got to put this air conditioner back on because I'm stuck in this office chair. I'm going to be like, just peeling myself off it like a fucking sweaty gamer that's been streaming for 20 hours for a charity stream. Anyways, in saying that though, I really hope that your 2021 is better. 2021, it's better than last year. I hope every day is fucking better than the day before, and that ain't some inspirational bullshit. I just hope that if you're going through some shit or last year sucked, I hope this year's better for you. I actually genuinely am sending my love. In saying that, I'm going to wrap it up, folks. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did and you're listening to this on iTunes, give it a 5-star rating. Spotify ain't got no rating systems. Don't worry about that. If you're a psychopath like me and likes watching their podcasts on YouTube, as always, like, comment, subscribe. And in saying that, thanks again for listening to another episode, and I hope you have a great year, and I'll see you guys next week, baby. Peace out. Love yous. Bye.